Ilkay Gundogan, after securing the FA Cup finale for Man City, he has come out and obviously issued a statement, all vocalized his future transfer or next destination to Arsenal or to Barcelona. Those are the two most important clubs that have gone ahead to approach the camp of Ilkay Gundogan on needing his services next season. Welcome to this channel. Rokani David is my name. It's the Rokani Media Football, and we are in what we call the transfer news show in here for you Chelsea fans. Manuel Ugarte deal to Chelsea looks like it's advancing, and Edson Alvarez, if at all you've been following football a lot, he's one of the best midfielders I've seen from Ajax, and last season Chelsea tried to make a late bid to sign the player, but looks like Borussia Dortmund have gone in to identify him as a Jude Bellingham replacement. So I think that's good news for him, and let's get into these three stories as we start off this nice evening. But let's see close to 200 likes much on this video, and guys, subscribe because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers in a nick of time. Now let's do Ilkay Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan was asked on his future after scoring a brace against Manchester United that saw Man City beat United by 2-1 in an FA Cup finale, and he said, "To be honest, I don't need these kind of days to feel appreciated. I know that's why I'm here 7 years. Nothing is decided yet. We are going to see what's going to happen." That's what Ilkay Gundogan said, and Chris Whitley is the one who has gone ahead to reveal to us that quote from Ilkay Gundogan. If at all you know Ilkay Gundogan, he's really a very talented player. For myself, I started following him up when he was still at Borussia Dortmund, and I liked the player. I was in love with the player, and I wish he had come to my club. That's it, but he came to Man City, and that's where he has been playing in from for the last 7 years. By the time they brought him in, he was an injury-prone player, but I think the medical department of Man City did the needful to keep him into the right shape of fitness. Now, if at all you watched the game yesterday, you got to know what quality this player possesses, and why Mikel Arteta is really one of those people that is trying hard to get in Ilkay Gundogan. In the previous 3 games of Man City, you know, I think the previous 6 games of Man City, Ilkay Gundogan has 6 assists and 6 goals. Now, Arteta needing this player is very evident that he's a decisive player in the final bend of the season. We all know last season when Man City, I'm talking about the season of 2021-2022, because even this one that's been recently concluded has now become last season. I'm talking about the season of 2021-2022. They reached the final day when Man City was just 1 point ahead of Liverpool. I think Man City had 92 points and Liverpool had 91 points. The game they had to play against Aston Villa, Ole Watkins, I think he scored one, and Coutinho scored another. 2-0 at the 60th minute. Gundogan was brought on. He pulled one back. Rodri equalized, and guess who scored the winner? It's Ilkay Gundogan. The potential in him to kill off important games, I think it's why Mikel Arteta wants him, because looks like he's that man who can eclipse Arsenal to the next level. And I think he can. So that's why Mikel Arteta is in need of this player. And it's not only Mikel Arteta who is in need of Ilkay Gundogan. Even Xavi Hernandez, the manager of Barcelona, is also in need of Ilkay Gundogan. Arsenal and Barcelona are both offering him a contract of 2 years with an option of 1 year, a 3-year contract. But he has to sit and obviously make a decision after the Champions League finale. It's going to be played next Saturday next week. It's going to be played in Turkey, and I think after that finale, then we'll be given the best of a decision coming in from Ilkay Gundogan. But his future is undecided. But Arteta is pushing, and Xavi Hernandez is pushing. And with what happened yesterday at Wembley, you really understand that very many teams are really going to be interested into Ilkay Gundogan. And now Arsenal fans know what exactly it means to have a player like Ilkay Gundogan. You know, he's a leader, talented, he scores goals, and he has a very high intensity, if at all you never knew. He runs and covers a lot of distance. This is something I've been pointing out on Arsenal ever since the season started, that Xhaka is doing a very good job, but he's not an Arteta player. He's not an Arteta player. Ilkay Gundogan is an Arteta player because Arteta first looks at how talented you are, you know? And because Arsenal never had so much money to spend in the summer to bring in another number 8 in their system, that's why they went in for Xhaka to play in that number 8 position. But if you tell Mikel Arteta that Gundogan is here and Xhaka is here, who are you taking? He'll obviously say, I'm taking Ilkay Gundogan. Second example, if you tell Arteta and you give him options of Jude Bellingham and Granit Xhaka, he'll say, I'm going with Jude Bellingham. Third example again, 2 options, Xhaka and Moise Caicedo, he'll take Moise Caicedo. Xhaka and Declan Rice, he'll take Declan Rice. Xhaka and Mason Mount, he'll take Mason Mount, you know? So there are vast examples that I can give you of very many players in the world that are really available that Arteta would go in for other than Granit Xhaka. You know, a list of like 10 midfielders that have gone ahead to do the needful. Tell him that Manu Kone is here and Xhaka, he'll go in for Manu Kone. You know, McAllister, he'll go in for McAllister. So the list is really endless. So it shows you why Arteta is pushing to get in a player like Ilkay Gundogan. The experience that Ilkay Gundogan holds will come in and obviously be felt in that midfield of Arsenal. That's it. So even the same reason is why Xavi is in need of this player Ilkay Gundogan, because they lost one of the best central defensive midfielders I've ever seen in the world, that is Sergio Busquets, and now they want to get a replacement. One will ask me, but Ilkay Gundogan is not a CDM. I've seen him play as a CDM. That's it. I remember the game when Man City wiped Man United 6-3. Rodri was out. Ilkay Gundogan played as a CDM, you know, and he controlled that midfield. And there have been very many games we've seen him play as a CDM. He can play literally in any position in the central midfield, that is Ilkay Gundogan. So that means Barcelona will have Frenkie de Jong, Ilkay Gundogan, and Ruben Neves. If at all Ruben Neves goes to Barcelona, that might be their ideal midfield 3. All Ilkay Gundogan, Pedri, and Frenkie de Jong. That might be their ideal midfield 3 of Barcelona. So Ilkay Gundogan, having scored that brace in the final, he has gone ahead to put himself into the market. And scoring those 2 goals just puts his negotiating team to a very huge task on negotiating a very good task, a very good deal for the player. With those 2 goals, he can even call for a deal of £200,000. If he manages to replicate that in the finale on Saturday, oh my God, he's going to call in for more money and obviously a very huge sign-on fee. But as it looks like his journey at Man City is coming to an end, as City is not willing to keep him for the next 3 years, and they are really trying to bring in a replacement, that is Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea, to come in and do his job. So let's wait and see where he's going to be playing next season, but he has told us that a decision has not been made yet, but it's imminent. You know, after the final, a decision will be revealed to us on what they've gone ahead to decide as Ilkay Gundogan and his entourage. Let's go to Chelsea and stride our stats a little bit to that side. We've been told by Ojogo in here for you that the agreement between parties is reached. Manuel Ugarte will play for Chelsea. Sporting Lisbon will receive 42 million euros, and Familia Cow will receive 30% of the fee. Phoenix, the Uruguayan club where Ugarte came from, will receive 20% of the profit. That is a story coming in from Ojogo. And after Ojogo giving us that story, guess what Fabrizio Romano went ahead to put up as far as this Manuel Ugarte story is really concerned. And I never wanted to do it, not until I got a confirmation from Fabrizio Romano, because lots of stories were coming in from Portugal, indicating that this deal of Manuel Ugarte is done and dusted and has been put out of the way. And we've been told by Fabrizio Romano that more contacts expected today for Manuel Ugarte deal, involving also Jorge Mendes. Chelsea consider deal now at advanced stage for 60 million euro fee, but not done or sealed yet, being still careful with PSG around until documents are signed. Key hours ahead. Now, Manuel Ugarte is a 21-year-old player, central defensive midfielder for Sporting Lisbon. If you watch the game of Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon, they played away in Portugal. This is the player that was really sent off. That is Manuel Ugarte. But he's a very decent player that even Mikel Arteta went ahead to talk about him being decent of the midfielders in Europe right now. When he played the Champions League, he registered the most progressive passes and most tackles during the group stages. It shows you how good he is. And this is the beauty of having coaches like Pochettino. You know, one would have thought that Chelsea would have gone in for players like Declan Rice, Moise Caicedo immediately. But look at the talent of Ugarte. You know, if Chelsea happened to get Ugarte as the deal is advanced, they would have gone ahead to really build one of the strongest and duration sure midfield partnerships, because he's going to come in through and play with Enzo Fernandez in that midfield. Enzo Fernandez thrives better as a number 8. Now, he has been lacking a CDM with him. Now, if they get in Manuel Ugarte, they are going to be playing in that midfield. Ugarte playing as a CDM, Enzo Fernandez playing as a box-to-box midfielder in that midfield of Chelsea. So looks like the midfield situation is going to be solved, but I think they need another midfielder, you know, because Zakaria is leaving, going back to to Juventus. Sorry about that. N'Golo Kante, injury prone. That means they're left with only Conor Gallagher, Ugarte, and Enzo Fernandez. You know, maybe he'll understand that he's going to be playing in only 3 competitions and he'll be resting for 7 days a week. That's why he'll brave through with that midfield, and then later, if at all he qualifies for the Champions League next season, he makes it to signing other quality players. But his eye of really looking at players and really identifying him, that is Pochettino, is really huge. Because when you look at Spurs, he brought in very many players. That is Mauricio Pochettino, and at least at Chelsea, he's going to really clear out players and get in more. So Ugarte deal is considered advanced by Chelsea, but the deal is not yet done and dusted. So that's what is coming in from Chelsea, and Fabrizio Romano giving us a fact onto that story. So let's wait and see how that is going to pan out from Chelsea. But they are facing competition from PSG, and Chelsea have confirmed to Fabrizio Romano that they want to call this a done deal after documents have been signed, because anytime PSG can sweep in, hijack the deal, and obviously take the player. But I'm not sure about that. The player wants to come and play in the best league in the world, that is the Premier League. He cannot waste his youthful ages playing for a farmers league. That is it. So he wants to come to Chelsea, and I think PSG have nothing to do about it. They just have to understand that the player's gone out and obviously chosen another team ahead of them. Now, Jude Bellingham leaving Borussia Dortmund. Looks like Borussia Dortmund have gone ahead to really get there to get his replacement, and that is Edson Alvarez, the Mexicano that really plays for Ajax. Fabrizio Romano again bringing us a story that Borussia Dortmund are prepared to reactivate contacts for Edson Alvarez deal after they will complete Jude Bellingham negotiations with Real Madrid. Alvarez keen on the move, but waiting for official proposal and clubs to start negotiations. Now, as I told you that for any elite team, they don't lose a player and then sign his replacement after. They have to first get the replacement and obviously get the deal out of the way, meaning that Borussia Dortmund might be willing to really activate their contacts with Ajax and obviously get this player out of the way. When you look at Edson Alvarez, he's a very good player. Think in his prime, 24, 25 years of age. I saw him when he was playing for Ajax when Ten Hag was there. He was one of the players that Ten Hag recruited, and I think he got him from Mexico and brought him to Ajax. He's a very good player, and he can come in through and obviously get that job out of the way. Last summer, Chelsea came in with a late bid, on the deadline day of the transfer window, and Ajax said no. Ajax rejected the bid, and they found themselves in a situation of not allowing the player to move on. The player said he wanted to leave, but they told him, you are going nowhere. So as it stands, it looks like Edson Alvarez is going to find himself in the Bundesliga. Amidst him wanting himself in the Premier League, that chance was really thrown down in the mud, but right now he's coming to the Bundesliga. So guys, your thoughts on Ilkay Gundogan pronouncing his future on Arsenal and Barcelona are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Manuel Ugarte to Chelsea? Do you think it's a done deal? And lastly, Edson Alvarez joining Borussia Dortmund. Is he the right replacement for Jude Bellingham? I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I sign out for now. See you later. I'm out.